Okay, you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. I kind of forgot to upload lately, and that is because I keep talking about a lot of things have been changing. They have been changing for the better. So, been trying to make sure that those things are in order as far as my financial situation, things going in the right direction, as far as what I want to do with my life. This has been a really great time, and I really do believe that God was really pushing me to go in this doggone, well, I know more than ever that it was in the right direction. I didn't know where I was going, how I was going, what was going on, but the arenas that he placed me in, he changed my whole occupation and made it a lot better, and I can see that now. So that's what I've been working on. I tried to call my mom like a couple of days ago. You guys, I had my friend in my apartment today, so yeah. So you guys see. But I tried to call my mom. She still was not feeling what they told me, that she's not, responding and stuff like that. My aunt is talking about that she hasn't talked to her. She told me a couple of days ago that she was trying to talk to her, but she never got back to me when I asked her how did she talk to her or anything like that. And she kind of changed the subject, so I don't know if she did or didn't. Usually when she didn't, she'll tell me that she just didn't. But maybe it's more to it. I don't know. Maybe it's just, she just like, hey, it is, whatever. So if you guys have time for that, definitely pray on that. You guys, I don't really watch too much television, but currently right now I am watching quite a bit of television. And then my television broke. And when you don't have something you really wanted, then like when my television broke, I really wanted to watch television, y'all. Like, I don't know. And like I've had months, I even went like a whole entire year not watching television. Really, really easy around here because, and when I say not watching television, I wasn't going on, like, the only time I would go on YouTube is to upload, so I was no Facebook, no social media, none of that. It gave me a lot of time to clear my head and to get real serious about what I wanted to do, what I wanted to do and how I was going to get it done, and not to focus so much of my attention on the things that were happening to me, like dealing with heartbreak and, relationships that were severing and the changes, because all that hormone imbalance, it does make a difference. All of that does change your hormones. Going in and out of relationships, they do make a difference. And friendships can be just as hard, if not harder, than actual relationships that you have with other people, because with a friendship, you've shared more intimate things with them. Now, if you are smart, and when you get older, you understand this. Some people understand this at a younger age, but I was taught this, but when you get older, when you get to a youthful age, you don't really think about that, is to marry your friend. You marry somebody that knows you, who wants to get to know you, because after all, in a couple of years, things are going to shift. The focus of it is going to shift. It's not going to be, not to say that physical doesn't play a part, but physical plays a lot in the beginning and sometimes a lot at the end too. So, there's going to shift with time, because when you're finding someone that's a mate and you want them to be a potential mate for a long time, things shift. You change as a person, they change as a person. So your relationship is going to constantly change. So, you're supposed to date and meet your friend, and I say date and meet your friend. You're supposed to find a mate that is your friend, so that you can help each other develop and grow. So when you go out of those kind of relationships, it's really, really tough, especially if you had intentions. I've tried, this is one of the reasons why I'm making this video, I've tried to be very intentional about my relationships, both, friendships and the dynamics of who I am dating, because it really makes a difference when you are trying to do something worthwhile. You have to be very intentional as to who is going with you, who wants to go on the journey with you, because there are a lot of friends that I have that I had that are still good friends, but I had to give some distance to and let them grow so that I can grow myself. You know, we're growing apart because we have different interests. Doesn't mean that we're less friends. But on this ride, in order to have things work a lot better, you know, you have to have that strength to let other people go out of your life. And sometimes you might have to just close the door, not just giving yourself space, but sometimes, like I recently had one that I literally had to sever ties with again, and it hurt. I'm not going to say that it didn't hurt, but it didn't hurt as much because God had already was telling me, you know, this time had ended, you know, and that's when we have those issues. I have issues with that sometimes because whole boundary setting sometimes, you know. I've definitely worked on it for a couple of years and it has gotten better, but yeah, so that is what I've been doing. I also been just trying to get myself closer to God, closer to what He's calling me to do. You know, it's more of a, I think everyone's feeling that because I had literally 3 friends that said that they saw God. Like, look, one of them was here, but I'm not going to show her face, but one of them was here, but I'm not kidding. So I knew when that happened, I was like, okay, I know that it is time for showtime. Things are going to get elevated. It's going to, you know, be very intense for not only me, but the world around. Because usually when you have those kind of visitations and things like that, that means there's going to be a shifting that's happening and that you are involved and you're going to be in the presence of helping and bringing other people. Like if you see that. So, yeah, so this is why I haven't, you know, really gotten down to it. And also my devices, y'all, the more devices I get, the more crazy stuff happens to them. Hold on. Let me see. Where's my other one? I think it's over here. I can't really move because of my little doggy. She just wants to be in my butt. Let's see. There you go, girly. Look, she's like, no. Okay. Yeah, my other device, which this one has quite a bit on there. So, all of them, all of a sudden they were working. All of a sudden they just stopped. I'm not going to go too deep into detail about that. But, when this happens, you know, like, you just take it for what it is. You know, sometimes those things happen intentionally and unintentionally. I'll say that and just let it be. But, yeah, so I haven't been able to upload my other computers. My television, I told you guys my television broke. So I couldn't upload that way. I had a Roku, so then it was connected to another smart device, so that I couldn't even upload that way. So I was literally gone. My other phones, they were just freezing, or it was just so backed up they wouldn't let me do anything. I literally had to reboot this one, erase this, put some of the films on another device that's not in my home, but another device that I have at another person's place to make sure that I had enough room, enough room for that. So yeah, so that's what I've been doing, clearing out my, you know, my closet physically and spiritually, making sure that I'm in alignment, making sure when I say in alignment, I mean, am I at the right place at the right time? Am I opening my mouth at the right time? Am I around the right people at the right time? You know, hey, Nat, look at God. Look at God. God couldn't even get into, what was that, Netflix? No, that's Hulu, ain't it? Disney. Oh, my goodness. One step. Couldn't get in Netflix, Hulu, or Disney. Y'all couldn't even get in nothing. So, whew. But, yeah, just making sure that I follow what I'm being led by the Spirit to do, and go by that and just go and do that. Also, I noticed something with I told you guys I don't watch TV, but I noticed something that people are talking about lately, and they were talking about the runner from the States, Sha'Carri Richardson, and I'm like, okay, you remember everybody was pulling her up. She was saying that, you know, she had great aspirations to go and win the Olympics, you know, and to be the fastest runner. And, you know, she had a downfall because of some of the things that she was dealing with. They was talking about mental illness and things like that. And, you know, now everyone sees that, you know, she was going through whatever she went through. She didn't get the chance to go and do the sport that she wanted to do. She got disqualified for like a month because of having, you know, marijuana in her system. You guys know the whole thing. So if you guys want to look at that, I'm not going to go too deep into what her things were. But she came back and she was talking about how her mom, you know, passed right. She found out what was going on, not from a relative, but from a whole stranger, you know, about something that happened to her mother, you know, and it took her into a whole depression. And people were just like, oh, that's kind of, you know, oh, well, she should have did this, she should have did that. And it's just like, you never know what someone is going through. People cope with things so differently. They cope with things so differently. You know, you might do something a different way. I know when I get, you know, really upset, I run physically and spiritually. Like when I say I run, I literally have to run. Otherwise, I'm going to lash out with anger. I'm going to, you know, it's going to be different. It probably end up, I've never had that, but I could have been doing drugs. Some people turn to, you know, drugs to do something. Some people turn to electronics. Some people turn to food. You see what I'm saying? So you never know, you know, and this is not just for someone who is mentally ill. This is for somebody who, you know, you're stressed out. That's just how it is. We cope in different ways. So just to be that judgmental, it's just ridiculous to me. You know, you got to think about all the pressure that she's having, you know, dealing with trying to break a record and set out a goal for herself. And not only that, but your face is plastered among thousands of people who don't even know the inside of you. And they're making all kind of assumptions, not even thinking about, hey, maybe I could have been that person. You know, I've been through a tough situation. How did this make me feel? No one thinks about that, you know? So it made me like, who? My grandma. Take the keys. It was like with the key fob. Lulu, you're not going. It's on the hook. But, ooh, did she get some? Yeah. Because that little black key fob is going to let you in. It's not the square thing anymore. Sorry, you guys. I remember was coming with some, like, Sunday food. Lulu, get back here. Lulu. Y'all, I'm so sorry. It seems like I am not. Luna. Luna. Come here. Come here. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I'm about to. It's like, it seems like the more I try to talk, the more they go in. But anywho, back to that lady, you know, because she is a woman. She's a young woman, but she's a woman. And she's going through these transitional times in her life. And instead of, you know, people supporting her, there was so many people bashing her. Oh, well, she shouldn't have been so cocky about it. And that's what she get. And she needs a piece of, people kept saying she needs a piece of humble pie. And it's like, okay, so what about the times when y'all was just pumping her up when she was saying what she was saying, and y'all was pumping her up? Like, what's the difference? Like, is she worth nothing now? You're gonna say all those crazy things, like, when you can totally see that this woman was out of sync. She was out of sync. Even the way that she came on the track, you could tell that she was just out of it. You know, the same thing happened with Simone Biles. The only difference is with Simone Biles, you know, because she was more of a athlete that's been out there and seasoned more, they had more people in her corner, you know, and she went out and explained more and became more open as far as what was going on with her, you know, in that stressful situation. No one thinks about that, you know, so it made me start, you know, with her, with Simone Biles and with Sha'Carri Richardson. It was like, it was the same thing in the same boat. The only thing is that, like I said, Simone had enough PRs and enough people, and I don't even think it was PRs, because it might have been PRs because I don't know her, but it looks like through her personality, she's one of those people that are just open and very, you know, I'll explain this and then and that's it kind of thing. You know, if you've been in the industry quite a bit, you're going to know how to navigate, you know, with your life and how to keep things private, but open up at the right time. And Sha'Carri Richardson, it wasn't like that. You know, she's dealing with all this, and it was almost like everybody, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what happened with her PR or anything like that. I don't even know if she has a PR, but it definitely looks like she was thrown out there to pick up the pieces. Now people are seeing all that, and it's like, you got to think about that with, on top of having people, you know, come at you, you know, because when you're in that spotlight, people love you for what you do and what you make them feel like. You know, most of those people are on the sidelines. Not to say that it's bad to be on the sidelines. We're all on the sidelines at some point in our life. But people will have a lot to say on the sidelines than those people who are actually in the field. You know, think about any kind of project, whether you're an athlete or not, any kind of project that you're in, and how people complain, or you're doing something like a fundraiser or something. They're like, oh, well, they should have did this. When they're on the couch the whole time, they're not thinking about the time that you planning. They just see the one time that you didn't fold the freaking tablecloths. You didn't have matching tablecloths on every seat or in every table, when you only had a budget of $1,500 and you're trying to raise more money, and you only had eight tablecloths, and somebody donated another one, and so now this one is mismatched, and you try to put that in the center or something. You know, this is how people are doing. They'll complain about that one thing and not understanding that you just spent all these months getting everything together. You did all this work, all this time, you know, and it's like, it's real sad. I'm not going to say what she did and what went through was, you know, right or wrong, because that's not my job. What I'm saying is that you have to understand and have the right people around you, because it makes a difference. Her situation would have made a difference. Even if she would have lost every single match from the time that she had that first incident till now. If she would have, oh, somebody want to call. If she would have missed and had, you know, a horrible time with that, she still would have been able to be successful. She still would have been able to have a visual comeback. But because she was surrounded by people, you know, who had different things, you can tell on the outside, it was almost like she looked like she was crumbling. And it was the same. Like I'm telling you guys, it's the same dynamic. When you look at Simone Biles and you look at Sha'Carri Richardson, it was the same dynamic as far as what they were dealing. Well, not to say the drug part. Take the drug part off. I'm talking about mental health right now. Before anyone tries to come for me, I'm talking about mental health and why it's important. Why is it important, whether you have a mental health issue or not, to keep your mental? Why is it important to have people who are for you and the people that are right for you? Because when these situations happen, whether good or bad, you're going to see when things fall down and you're not able to stand up for yourself and you're not able to be there, you need to have people in position that are going to be able to lift you up. Now, like I said, people who are on the sidelines, they're going to be always on the sidelines. They're going to say whatever, whenever, because they don't have to be held accountable. You know, you have to understand the heavy is the one who wears the crown. The person who's in the spotlight, they have to take all that on, and it does build a lot of stress. It does, like, without a doubt. Luna, y'all, my dog is about to make me just go ballistic. Luna, come here. She's going for food, that's why. Oh my God. Okay, what does she want? Y'all, you know what? I don't know why people are just constant. It's constant. I should have just put it on Do Not Disturb, y'all. As soon as I make a video, everybody want to come and talk. But back to what I was saying. It was very imperative because those situations should have been identical. They should have made a difference, but they did not. Because you had the wrong people in play. So that is what I have been definitely focusing on, being with people who want to go in that direction and who have the best intentions for me, not, you know, people who ran down. And I'm saying this from experience, not only just from hearing this, I'm saying this from experience, from a professional life, you know, having an agent, and I had to let the agent go, you know, having this whole thing, because when you have an agent, eventually you end up having a PR staff, you end up, you know, and stuff like that. you have these people in place to take care of those and not to take care of things, but yeah, take care of things, but at the same time, not to take over your life, but make sure what you want to represent is what it is. So you can take care of the necessary steps, mental health, all those things that you need to take care of. It's already bad enough that they have to deal with the stress of performing. And it's really, really tough when your performance is not like once a year. It's like you're performing every single day for this one event for every 4 years. Or you're performing this one time every, once a year or every couple of years. Or, people don't think about that. And, if we think about that, it will get better. But like I said, people, because they don't think about that. They think they don't have any accountability, especially people who are on these platforms. Some of these people don't have responsibility and don't take account for their actions and their words. So they think that they can say whatever they want to say, and it's like, it's going to fly right. That's why it's so imperative that you have the right people in position and in place and around you. It also gave me a revelation, like, don't look at man, because the same people that will bring you up are the same people that will bring you down. Look at her issue, at both of their issues, both of their callings, when they, had a tough time, half of those people that was, rooting them up and all this, they were ready to attack. Now, sure, you're going to always have people who just hate your guts just because it's you. Some people, they're mad at those people because they didn't do something that they thought that they should have. And then there's those other times, there's a lot of people who don't know Simone Biles and don't know Sha'Carri Richardson on any kind of levels, but they just don't like them because it's them, and some people on a regular person, think about when you're on a job, there are people, most of those people, 75% of those people don't like you when you first come in, and they don't even know who you are, and this is the average, they tell us that, and there are going to be some people who just love you, but some of those people can't wait for you to go and fall, so they were doing that. But most of the people who were going against them were the same people that were rooting for them. It wasn't the people that was just like, oh, I'm down, ha ha ha. Most of those people were the same people that were rooting for them. And that brought me to my conclusion of, don't look at man, because like I said, the same people that bring you up are the same people that bring you down. Even look at God's life. Look at Jesus' life. The same people who he helped, and delivered them from diseases, from demons, everything else, was the same people that was over there talking about crucify and letting Barnabas just go ahead and go free. This man done killed everybody, but they'd rather for this person who, did all this wickedness to go free than somebody who just trying to help and trying to make your life a little bit better to go in. So you got to think about that. Don't get focused. Don't get focused on what people say, good or bad. Because it'll boost you up and it'll mess with your ego too. People doing all that. Yes, sir. And, you really are good and they not telling you certain stuff to perfect and get yourself together. Then it's, those people who try to kick you down when you're down. So, oh, it's coming. Look at going. Look at going. Okay, so yeah, that's what I wanted to say, y'all. The Hulu just got back on, so yeah. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say on that. Like, people just, you can't do it. And I hope people will get a better understanding. If there's anybody who's trying to compete or do anything, in the athletic field or any kind of field, you want to do something and you're trying to break a barrier for yourself, not just for people to see, just breaking some things and doing some things that you know that you are supposed to do. Don't get hesitant on it. Now is the time to do it. Don't get upset about when people are not praising you, people are not coming for you. Don't get upset when they pushing you down. Don't get upset don't get pumped up when they all bring you up either. Just keep going. Just keep going. The proof will be in the pudding when you make it to your goal. So that's all I wanted to say about that. I know that's like almost 30 minutes, but I think it was necessary. So I'm going to get off of here. Hopefully something I said or done will help you on your journey. Please stay tuned to Journey to Jerusalem and have a great one. Happy Sunday.